Imagine standing before a food cart. The smell of sizzling meat rises into the air, smoke curling, spices dancing in your nose. You take a juicy bite into a burger, only to discover later that what you just ate wasn't pork, wasn't beef, but human flesh. Would you feel disgust, betrayed, or guilty because you enjoyed the taste? Tonight, we dive into one of the most horrifying stories in true crime history, the tale of a man who not only murdered, but cooked his victims and sold them as sandwiches to the public. Welcome to Incidents Unfolded. Today's story, the nightmare of Joseph Metheny, known as the human burger chef. Childhood. Seeds of a monster. Joseph Roy Metheny was born on March 3, 1955, in Baltimore, Maryland. But from the very beginning, warmth and love were strangers to him. At just 6 years old, he watched his father die, crushed beneath the wheels of a truck. That moment shattered his childhood forever. His mother was overwhelmed, his brother was disabled, and the streets became his classroom. School? He was expelled again and again for beating up teachers. The lesson he absorbed was simple. The strong devour the weak, and the weak are nothing but scraps underfoot. Do you think a brutal childhood excuses the cruelty that follows? Comment your thoughts below. At 17, Joseph joined the army, hoping for structure, honor, and a fresh start. But he returned years later addicted to alcohol, homeless, unwanted. And in the cold alleys of Baltimore, whispers crept into his mind. You were never more than meat to be burned away, so why not make others meat to be swallowed by the hungry? The final breaking point. By the summer of 1995, Joseph was 40 years old. He worked loading trucks in a warehouse. He owned a rusted trailer parked near a trucking lot. He had a wife and a child he called the light of his eyes. But fate wasn't finished wounding him. One stormy night, Joseph came home to find the bed empty, the closet open, a single note waiting for him. I've left with a real man. Don't look for us. In that moment, the last human thread inside him snapped. Joseph didn't cry. He didn't scream. He simply whispered to himself, then all are lost, and all are food. And so the grieving father became the hunter, the night stalker. Joseph wandered the city after dark. He sought out the forgotten, the ones nobody would search for. Homeless souls, drug addicts, sex workers. He lured them with promises of a warm meal, a bottle of whiskey, or just a listening ear. Then came the hammer, the cord wrapped around their throats, the dismemberment inside his trailer. No hesitation, no remorse.
One night, he claimed he killed 3 men in just 4 hours, dumping their bones into the Patapsco River. News reports began whispering of mass disappearances, but the police never connected the dots. These victims had no families, no voices, no one to cry out for them. But for Joseph, simple murder wasn't enough. He was ready to add a new flavor: the Black Kitchen. In the summer of 1996, Joseph opened a small roadside food stand outside a factory in Baltimore. His sign read, Metheny's Burgers, the best in town, only $2. Workers lined up. They praised the rich taste of his burgers. They begged for his secret sauce. And Joseph smiled, replying, "It's just a little bit of love and a touch of memory." But his real secret was kept inside his trailer freezer. During questioning later, he confessed, "I chopped up the bodies into small pieces, mixed them with pork, half and half, seasoned it, added onions, peppers, spices, then grilled it over charcoal until every strange odor disappeared." Nobody ever suspected a thing, not one person. The victim who got away. On the night of July 29, 1996, Joseph lured a woman named Rita Kemper. He attacked her, but as he began his ritual, she regained consciousness, screaming, fighting, and escaping into the street half naked. She ran for her life, flagging down police. When officers stormed Joseph's trailer, they found a bloodied knife, stains on the walls, and chunks of unidentifiable meat in the fridge. Joseph didn't deny a thing. He boasted, "I killed more than 10, and I fed people with them. I didn't waste the meat. I prepared it professionally." But here's the shocking part. Charges against him shrank to only 2 murders because the other bodies were never found or had been completely eaten. The interrogation room. Police recorded one of the darkest confessions in American crime history. Joseph sat back, sipping coffee, smiling as he said, "I don't feel guilty. I evened the score. They were nobodies, trash. I gave them one final purpose. They became a meal to fill someone's belly." Then he delivered the line that shook the nation. "If you hadn't caught me, I would have kept going. I was planning to expand the menu, maybe add a crying baby from the street. Tender meat always sells the fastest." Judgment and the end. In 1998, Joseph Metheny was convicted of 2 murders. His sentence, life in prison without parole. But strangely, he was never punished for selling human flesh because prosecutors claimed no harm had been proven to the customers who ate it. In prison, he wrote journals. He sent letters to crime enthusiasts. Then, on August 5, 2017, guards found him dead in his cell at the age of 62. The cause? Natural. But the legend lived on. His name spread through forums, documentaries, and whispers. The man who fed Baltimore with human flesh. Final message. A wake-up call. Joseph's story isn't only about a serial killer. It's about a society that looks away from the homeless, about customers who trust any neon sign, about lives discarded like trash and recycled into meals. So, stay alert, ask questions, look deeper, and give a voice to the voiceless. Would you ever look at a food truck the same way again?
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment to share your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our next video. Your support keeps this channel growing, and I really appreciate it.